So if you want to do things that you never thought you could do, goals will get you there. That's what they do for you. Goals will get you to places you didn't think you could go, doing things you never thought were possible. Whether it's running a marathon or running a business, your goals are what get you to the finish line. Goals are what get you to the finish line. They make the impossible possible. They help, whatever your vision is, they help you see it and come up with a plan to get there. But goals are different than resolutions. And a lot of times we use the word goals interchangeably with resolutions, especially in January with the new year. We say, oh, what are your New Year's goals or New Year's resolutions? And we don't really differentiate the two. However, they are different because people give up on resolutions and people don't follow through on wishes and dreams and desires necessarily. But goals actually have a very high rate of follow through. But they have to have certain qualities in order to be considered an actual goal, to be defined as a goal. So I want to give you 3 things that they need to have. If you've been around EntreLeadership for a while, these 3 things won't be new to you, but I want to walk you through holding your goals and dreams and desires against this litmus test to make sure it has what you need to be successful. Goals need to be specific, they need to be measurable, and they need to have a time limit. They need to be specific, measurable, and have a time limit. So you might say something like, I want to grow my business. Well, that's great, but that's not a goal. It's not specific, it's not measurable, and does not have a time limit. So what I want to do is I want to walk you through an exercise of taking this idea, I want to grow my business, and turning that into a goal. The way that you do that is by asking yourself 3 questions, okay? So take this idea, or whatever your idea is, I want to grow my business, and I want you to ask yourself, how? That's the first question, how? How do you want to grow your business? Well, you can define growth in a lot of different ways. Do you want to grow it by your email list? Do you want to grow it by top-line revenue? Do you want to grow it by team members? Do you want to grow it by your social media platform? Do you want to grow it by profit? Do you want to grow it by customers served? You get to define how you measure and track growth. So first ask yourself how. Whatever your goal is, ask yourself how to make sure you're adding that specific quality to it. Okay, well, let's say that you decide top-line revenue. That's how you're going to define growth in this specific goal. Okay, well, now the second quality is measurable. The question you ask yourself to make sure it's measurable is you say, by how much? By how much? So first how, to define that it's specific, and then by how much? Okay, well, let's just make up something, 30%. You want to grow it by 30%? Okay, well, now it's measurable. You can see your progress and see how much you're on track or off track as you work towards that goal. But then you're still not done because you need to have a time limit. You need to have a finish line that you're working toward. And then that's when you ask yourself, by when? By when? You want to do this by when? How gives you the specific quality, by how much gives you the measurable quality, and by when gives you the time limit that you're looking for. Now, you've taken an idea, I want to grow my business, and turned that into a goal, which is I want to grow my business by top-line revenue by 30% by the end of this year. That's a goal. So I want to make sure that as business leaders, when you set goals in your business and in your life, by the way, this applies to every area of your life, and certainly when you get your team on board and you're rallying your team around these initiatives, that it has these 3 qualities. Because if it doesn't have these 3 qualities, it's not a goal. And goals are all about action. Goals are all about action. They answer the question, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? You've got dreams, that's awesome. You've got a vision for the future, that's awesome. What are you going to do about it? Well, your goals break that down and say, here are the steps I'm going to take to get there. I love what Dave Ramsey said to you guys in his session. What must be true today to get there? This is what you use. You use the tool of goals to get there. What must be true today? Well, I must work on these efforts. I must put my energy here. I must start these initiatives, hire these people, open these branches, whatever that looks like today to get there. Your goals are your tool to get there. A dream says, I want. Your goal says, I will. They're all about action. What are you going to do about it? I will. I will take these actions. I will take these steps. I will check these boxes. I will accomplish these things today, this week, this month, to get to that long-term vision of where you're going. Now, I've noticed something when it comes to being a business leader, certainly an entrepreneur like many of you all are, is we have a very unique and specific challenge when it comes to goals. We understand goals. That's not the problem. We do understand that goals are important and we like them and all that good stuff. Here's the problem. There tends to be two types of people in this world, depending on our personality style. And I'm not going to get into all the DISC and Myers-Briggs and Enneagram and all that stuff. But let's just on a high level, there's really two types of people in terms of how you think and process things. There tends to be a wow person and a how person. Well, let's just talk about this, okay? The wow person. The wow person, everything is wow. Wow, I have a new idea. Wow, isn't life amazing? Wow, look at all these people viewing online. Wow, wow, wow. How many of you are the wow person? By a show of hands. All right, we've got some wow people. Now the how person thinks differently. The how person thinks, how? How is this going to work? How much money is this going to cost? How long is this going to take? This is my husband. I am the wow person. He is the how person. He wants to know how things are going to occur. They think about the details, the plan, the follow through. How many of you are how people? We got a lot of how people in here. All right, typically, we tend to marry our opposite, right? How many of you married the opposite? If you're a wow, you married a how and vice versa. I know, the opposites attract thing really works-ish, right? It's interesting. Got an amen over here. So I heard a friend tell me one time, this is how the wows and hows need to have conversations in their marriage. You can apply this in your marriage. You can apply it in your business. It's a good rule of thumb. When the wow person comes home with a new idea, so always and every day, right? When they come home with a new idea that they're really, really excited about, the how person is not allowed to ask any how questions for 24 hours. Because why? Because they are raining on your parade, right? They are bursting your bubble with all your details and negativity of how is it gonna work? I don't know. Like, we don't need that kind of negativity in our lives, at least for 24 hours, okay? All the wow people are so excited. They're like, yes! No how questions for a full day. Now, how people, don't think I've left you behind just because I'm wow. I didn't. I'm going to play even here, okay? How people. If after 24 hours, the wow person is still talking about that same wow idea, which is highly unlikely because they've moved on to 17 new ideas, right? But if they're still talking about that same original idea, then you can ask all the how questions you want to. How will this work? How much money will this take? How will we work this out? This is a good way for wows and hows to interact. But here's what I've noticed. Regardless of how you're wired, as a wow person or a how person, we tend to struggle when it comes to goals with follow through, especially as entrepreneurs. The problem isn't in the new for us. We have lots of new ideas. The problem is in the follow through. The problem isn't in the new. The problem is in the follow through. We can set goals, but we have a hard time seeing them through. But the reality is, regardless of how you're wired or your role in your business, in life in general, you and I, we're not proud of our wishes. We're not proud of our dreams. We're not proud of our ideas. We're proud of what we finish. I wouldn't have been proud of that race if I said, and then I ran 2 miles and I called it, right? I'm proud because I finished it. We frame awards and we put trophies and medals up and plaques on the wall of framing our first dollar, and we have pride and confidence in what we actually pull off, on the things that we see through. Satisfaction lies in sticking with it. Satisfaction lies in sticking with it. No one is going to remember us by what we wanted to do or what we intended to do or what we planned to do. They're going to remember us by what we actually do.